You thought this was gonna be Shippuden, didn't you? Yes, I know. Technically, the next part of my arc-by-arc Naruto review should be jumping into part 2 of the story, Shippuden, and we will get to that in due time, I promise. Subscribe to be notified when that happens, by the way. But right now, I want you to indulge me as I review not the main series, but the first 3 anime movies tied to part 1 of Naruto. You see, while I am re-watching the anime, when I got to these 3 movies, it was a different experience because, with only one exception, I hadn't seen them before and had no idea what I was in for. So, without any further ado, let's just get right into it with the first movie, Ninja Clash in the Land of Snow. This one is special because it is the only movie out of these 3 that I've actually seen before, once. It was broadcast as a holiday special on the German channel Super RTL, and we managed to catch it one year. I didn't remember anything about it, however, aside from it vaguely having to do with an actress or some shit like that. And that's basically exactly what the movie's about. A movie crew hires our Team 7 as bodyguards as they embark on a filmmaking journey to the Land of Snow, which had not too long ago been overtaken by a violent technocrat. As the mission progresses, our team discovers that the crew has other motives and that they are in more danger than they signed up for. If this setup seems familiar to the rising action of the Zabuza arc, it's because it's a straight ripoff in terms of the basic premise. But that's not an inherently bad thing. Anime movies taking elements from the series' popular arcs is a long-standing tradition, and the Zabuza arc is so good, so why not take some inspiration? Beyond this, the plot is mostly enjoyable with a few fun twists and turns. There is some weirdness though, as it always happens with anime movies. For example, Naruto keeps telling Yuki to stop complaining and accept her destiny. Naruto, my man, are you sure you are pro-destiny? You good, buddy? And of course, there is the ever-funny question of continuity and canon. This movie may not be canon, but it does have an outspoken, explicit position in the original Naruto anime. It's supposed to happen right after a mini-arc of the team trying to uncover Kakashi's face, which is a filler arc that happens after Tsunade becomes Hokage. This means that this Sasuke is already scarred by Itachi's Tsukuyomi and should be getting radicalized into revenge right about now, which might make interactions in a casual winter movie like this a bit awkward. The solution? Just don't have Sasuke say or do much. It is kinda lame how little our deuteragonist matters in this movie, but hey, what you gonna do? It did bother me a bit that he seemingly had no reactions to anything that was going on, but he was there to be cool and to be the cool secondary main character, which I guess is fine. I do love their outfits in the movie though. The cloaks really give them a unique feel and they're super nice. Additionally, while the plot itself is, cool or whatever, I love the shit our characters get to do. Naruto puts in work, Sasuke uses the twin lions for like the 2nd time ever, and Sakura gets to make her own new jutsu, which is awesome. Also, fun fact, this movie is the first instance of Kakashi being shown to have been an Anbu, something that Kishimoto would, much later, make canon. It's really cool like this, and we are going to see more examples of anime original stuff becoming canon later on. Speaking of cool, I'm sure you've noticed by now, but this movie is gorgeous. Pierrot movies looking good is natural, but this, and all Naruto movies by the way, is genuine eye candy. It is somehow stuck between the polish of modern anime and the texture of cell animation, and the result is simply stunning. It's kinetic, colorful, grainy, and just wonderful. Add to this the Ghibli-esque direction with long, deliberate shots and only occasional background music, and this movie's atmosphere and style are nothing short of amazing. I cannot hammer home how different this feels from the main anime, and that is something I'm very happy about. Anyway, 7 out of 10, would watch again, time to lick some rocks. Naruto Movie 2, Legend of the Stone of Gelel, takes place after Sasuke has left the village, and follows Naruto, Shikamaru, and Sakura, as well as the Sand Trio, as they track down a pseudo-religious cult on the search for an ancient power source called the Stone of Gelel, all the while tagging along with their bratty but righteous underling Temujin. This movie is two things. It is, again, gorgeous, just like the first one, and it is also boring. It took me almost a full day to watch this crap because it's just so exhaustingly mind-numbing. The plot is at once empty and yet overly convoluted. We have fake charity, brainwashing, horror movie references, misinterpretations of prophecies and war theory, and yet none of it matters because in the end, this is an anime movie that has to come down to Naruto and a faceless baddie throwing hands. It's actually really weird because the main villain's motivation is the exact same thing Nagato would pursue in the main story almost a decade later, but here it is infinitely less interesting. Also, the music is like, bad? So I don't want to spend too much time on the plot because I'd rather talk about pretty much anything else, especially about how pretty this movie is. Just like the last one, it combines great movie quality animation with a pleasant color palette, this time adding a hint of blobness to the character designs, which again just give it a very particular feel. Also, the Konoha flak jackets get redesigned for some reason. Beyond that, the movie has a couple of cool action sequences. The beginning scene sees the Land of Wind be attacked at a beach, with the Sand siblings helming a counterattack. This is such a cool and non-Naruto setting, especially for part 1 of Naruto, and it gives off a unique vibe that's hard to find elsewhere in the series. Sakura's fight also ends up being gorgeous with some intense and snappy combat cuts, and honestly that's all I have to say here. This movie is not worth your time, and it certainly wasn't worth mine. 4 out of 10, let's go look at some tigers. Naruto Movie 3, Guardians of the Crescent Moon Kingdom follows Naruto, Sakura, Lee, and Kakashi as they escort a fat prince and his bratty son back to their home country, only to realize that it has been overtaken by a corrupt minister named Chabadaba, and that they now have to take care of this mess. Right off the bat, this movie distinguishes itself by being really good. The plot is paced in a satisfying sort of way and is a lot more character-driven than the last two movies. Seeing this lump of pampered infantility grow and mature into both a leader and a father was genuinely cool and made some of the later moments in the movie hit surprisingly hard. The kid is mostly there to give us that classic Naruto teaches a little dipshit how to behave dynamic, but it does really well at that, with him genuinely learning from Naruto, which is cool. Additionally, setting this movie in the non-canon Land of the Moon allows it to show a very different landscape, country, and economy than what the main series has to offer, which is great. Speaking of great, the movie also gives our folks new outfits to wear, and this, together with the looser animation style, gives the movie a very distinct feel, which is awesome. I have found that these anime movies tend to be at their best when they delve into stuff the main story can't really bother with, and protecting an island tourism paradise and educating its man-child prince definitely falls into that category. Add in some absolutely spectacular animation, especially for Lee's fights, and it is a genuinely great experience. The only really weird stuff about this are the main villains. Since Minister Shabadaba isn't a ninja and doesn't fight, he hires these 3 Walmart baddies who have cool powers and abilities, especially the neurotoxin. That's such a cool idea for an assassin group. But aside from that, they're kind of whatever. They mention that their homeland was destroyed, and a guidebook gives them a name and calls them the Uemon clan, and they're bald, and that's somehow a secret worthy of a reveal? Okay. Lastly, the finale of the movie includes something that almost all Naruto movies have: a new Rasengan. In fact, the last 2 movies did that too, although the first one's Rasengan isn't considered a new Rasengan according to the wiki, so who am I to disagree really? The reason I bring it up now is because in the last 2 movies, they at least made a semblance of sense. Naruto was surrounded by rainbow magic. Rainbow Rasengan, sure. Naruto is surrounded by Earth Spirit magic. Earth Spirit Rasengan, bet. They were never explained, and honestly, they don't do anything special aside from being strong, but hey, that's alright. In this movie though, they just do not care. Naruto literally just holds up the Rasengan, and because the moonlight shines through it, it becomes the stronger Crescent Moon Rasengan. Like, my man? Usually I'd be mad at this, but it's so goofy and dumb. I'm okay with it. I had fun. Overall, great movie. 8 out of 10. The villain has a funny name. Hi, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I know this isn't Shippuden yet, and I know that's what everyone's excited about. And I want to say thank you so much for letting me know that you're excited about Shippuden, because that's how I know that I should continue. Because, you know, I'm still watching Naruto. I'm currently up to Akatsuki Suppression. In fact, I started it right before recording this. And, you know, as time progresses, I'll get all the episodes out as I get my thoughts sorted and as I write the episode. So thank you for your patience. I hope you enjoyed this video. Also, of course, a big thank you to our patrons, which include Christian Finkbeiner, Fictionape, Victor Perez, Sini, Zanji1, and Mr. Meander. Thank you all so much, and be safe, be well, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.